Hello and welcome to another Jaeger Gaming video. I'm back, and there's not really any good excuses for my absence. Uh, my only real excuse really is schoolwork and trying to catch up because I got lazy and got a little bit behind with a class that you can turn things in late and get full credit. So I was just turning everything in late, and I had to get caught up. But I'm gonna try really hard. I'm gonna make this a higher priority because I want this channel to succeed, and because you guys deserve it. There may only be few of you, but you're great, and I owe it to you. So anyways, I'm here with Pillars of Eternity, brand new party RPG game that came out, and party meaning you control the whole group of adventurers. I've played it already through the first act, and I love it, but I'm going to start a new character today. So the first act will not be anything new. I'm not sure if I will continue to play my other character, because part of me wants to see the story new with you guys, like the rest of the story, but part of me also wants to play my priest character that I made. But I'll decide that later. But here goes. New game. I'm playing on easy because this is actually a relatively difficult game. And I am new to real-time party-based RPGs. Obsidian Entertainment presents Pillars of Eternity. This game is a lot like Baldur's Gate. Actually, people have said that it's not in the same world, it's not the same lore, but it is essentially Baldur's Gate 3. Which, if you've played the Baldur's Gate games, is a massive compliment to this because they were fantastic games.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
This is kind of the game's thing. Like, it's kind of like a storybook, which makes sense with the medieval fantasy setting. But you also control... A lot of the game is controlling actual characters from a top-down setting, like you will see now, or soon. Matters on how long this takes to load. And there it goes. Oh, yeah, duh. First I have to make my character. It will be a male, because I am a male, and I am not a member of the 30% of men who like to play as females, which is an actually very interesting fact. It's not anything against them, like, don't assume that, but it's interesting. Probably has to do with what we find visually appealing rather than immersively appealing. And I was thinking about being an elf due to the dexterity and perception bonuses, because I'm of course going to be a ranger since it is the channel logo, and Jaeger is hunter. Ah, my voice kind of died in that moment. But I will show you all of the races and all of the classes and all of the cultures. There's so much lore in this game. Humans, commonly called folk, are the most common races in the Deerwood and the Adir Empire, Old Valia and the Valiant Republics. Oh, sorry. There was a comma, not a period. I'm bad at reading. Though not as large as the towering Almawa, humans are known for their strength and willpower. They make really good priests, because my priest is one. Deerwood is... Well, okay, let's start. The Adir Empire. They're this game's essential equivalent to the UK, United Kingdom, Great Britain. And then Deerwood is a colony of the Deer Empire that broke away. My first example that comes to mind would be the United States. However, like, so that we can cover all international bases, uh, I'm pretty sure India is a similar story, like the independence. Jamaica somewhat, because Jamaica was freed by just the UK just telling them they can have the freedom rather than a war. And I think, I'm trying to think of another one. Canada kind of got its freedom that way too. And I will be right back. I actually had to eat dinner, so it was like 30 minutes ago that I left. Anyways, the Deerwood was a colony of the Adir Empire. Old Valia is no longer around, and the Valian republics have replaced them in their, I'd say, like, Italy? Like, exploration age Italy. Like, the different city-states. Which is why they're the Valian republics. But, yeah. The Aumaua. Awesome race. Really strong. Like, a prettier version of the orcs in other games. The mighty Aumaua are the largest of the Kith races, and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rautai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. Kith are just any form of sentient beings. Any one of these races are considered Kith, including humans. So yeah, the Aumaua. Which I'll show you the sub-race. There's the coastal that are blue, and the island that are kind of brownish, but you can change their colors. They can be blue. Both can change either color. Dwarves. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in the Deerwood, the Valian republics, or Valian, and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. So yeah. Basic, fantasy RPG dwarf. Elves. Likely going to be our race. Elves are the dominant race in the Aer Glonfath, and the White That Wends, and are extremely common in the Deerwood and Adir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as their commonly isolationist nature. Dexterity and perception. Perception, not perception. Yeah, basic elf. Aer Glonfath is, well, you can pause the video and read that, or it's essentially kind of Native America, and it's kind of right next to the Deerwood, and they conflict a lot. They fight over the ruins and stuff like that. The Orlins, they're like cat-like people, and they're tiny, and they're awesome. I've not played one, but I think they're really cool looking with their cat eyes. Orlins are the smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-tone skin, and hirsute bodies, Orlins are commonly found in Aer Glonfath, the Ixamital Plains, and parts of the Deerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and quickness. Aer Glonfath or Glonfathan, and then Deerwood or Deerwooden are commonly said in the game. Adir is said slightly commonly. Trying to find other ones that are. The reason I struggle with Valian and where was it? Ixamital is because they're not commonly said in the game. I think this was said once, and Valian were said once or twice. they're not mentioned that often. And also, I'm a Spanish student, so when I see this, it makes me think of the Nahuatl language of the Aztecs. So this would be Ixanitl, Ixanitl, even though it's wrong. But yeah, they're really good for rogues, I guess. I don't know. I think they look cool. And then the most terrifying of the races, the mutants, or godlike. The godlike are children of the Kith, who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant shapes are typical, and the godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are viewed with fear and wonder. So I guess you wouldn't call them mutants as much as crossbreeds, almost? Demigods is what it makes me think of, because if you consider like a horse and a donkey mating, it's a mule, and mules are unable to reproduce, so it is a crossbreed. So it's kind of like a child of one of the Kith, and then a child of the god as well. Of a god as well. Not the god. So it is kind of a crossbred creature. And I think they're cool. And their subraces are death. Like this. Fire. Really epic. They can light things on fire too. Because there's a part of the game where you have to take out a torch to light these... I don't know what to call them. I can't remember. They're like pillars, but you light the bottom and it goes up to the top. But then moon, they're really cool. They're really pretty. They're most tolerated because they are very pretty. And then nature, which I think is awesome looking, but it says they are considered diseased because, you know, sprouts and bugs and stuff. But I'm going to be an elf, and I'm probably going to play a pale elf because I think that looks really pretty. But I'll read you. Wood elves. I'm not even going to try to read that. Actually, I am going to try. Stelterfolk is how I'm going to pretend it is. Trace their beginnings far north of present-day Adir, and have migrated south throughout the forests of the continent, now covering it all the way south, across the equator. They are also believed to have migrated across the sea to Erglonfath. While physiologically identical to one another, wood elves from Adir are culturally different from those of Erglonfath. And I will be right back. I'm not sure if you saw that, but I'm running out of disk space, so I should clear some up. I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm having a lot of pauses this episode. But anyways, they consider themselves wholly different groups. And then it tells you about the advantage they get. If it's more than 4 meters away, wood elves gain bonus to accuracy, deflection, and reflex, which would be really good for my character. It is unclear exactly how long ago the Pale Elves, Glamfelin, came to the southern polar regions of the world, but they have lived there for at least 12,000 years based on their continuous contact with Almauer traders. They appear to be among the most stationary ethnic groups in the known world, migrating within the polar region, but seldom venturing far north. They are rare in all northern lands, and most people consider them exotic, if they have seen one at all. Now, there is a race in this game that is there's two, races, well, two sub-races that are considered highly OP, and I'm going to actually check on that to make sure that I don't pick one of those, because that would be really annoying to go through the game with, well, what's considered OP, just a boring way to play. So I need to actually find... Eh, I know Wood Elf is one, but I don't think Pale Elf is. So I'm gonna be a Pale Elf. And it's probably OP due to 4 meters away, you gain accuracy, deflection, and reflex. And actually, trying to think. I think it may be one of the godlights. Moon. Every encounter. Oh, yeah, that's why. Endurance is kind of like temporary health. There's health, and then there's endurance. Endurance is how much health you have per fight, and when you run out of endurance, your person is knocked out. And then health, if you get knocked out, you lose health, and also I think just you naturally lose health in a battle. But if you lose health, then you are maimed or you die. So when they lose 25%, each time they lose 25% of their endurance, they send out a wave of moonlight that restore endurance to their allies and them. So that means they heal every time they lose 25% of their endurance. So it's just, I can see how that is really OP. So we'll be a Pale Elf Hunter or Ranger. They like. I think this race is meant to be more of a wizard, but wounding shot. I think that's the ranger ability I want, because that'll actually, that's a trigger. This is also a trigger, but it just gives me and my companion a damage bonus. I don't know which one. I get 2 of these each encounter, so it's probably not as strong as this. This can't be interrupted though. A lot of the most annoying things in this game is interruption when you're trying to use an ability, because you see here it says interrupt 0.5 seconds. That's how long in game it can be interrupted for, and it's really likely that it will get interrupted if it takes too long. So this lasts for 30 seconds and it will give a boost for that long. Ooh, I don't know. I kind of want the stag companion. A lion would be cool too. Oh, they have abilities. All rangers form a strong spiritual connection with a single creature, their animal companion. This connection allows rangers and their companions to coordinate attacks and efficiently take down prey. In most situations, the companion runs interference, while the ranger attacks at a range. Oh, wow, ranger at range. That doesn't make sense at all, does it? Despite these advantages, there are risks to the relationship. Rangers share a literal life bond with their animal companions. When one is wounded, they when one is wounded, they can sense it, typo, and feel intense emotional pain. If a ranger or animal companion are knocked unconscious, the partner suffers from bonded grief, affecting accuracy and other stats until the downed ally is revived. If a ranger is ever killed, the animal companion immediately dies from grief. That's really sad. But it's like so that if you have a ranger in your party, the animal companion goes away when the ranger dies. Antelope companions have naturally superior defenses: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. So, superior defenses. Bear companions have unusually high damage reduction, giving them superior protection from all forms of damage. Boar companions inflict more damage when they are below 50% endurance. Lion companions have ability to terrify enemies with a powerful roar. Stags can activate a melee attack that does damage to all enemies in a small area around the main target. That would be, it's a nice AoE. Wolf companions do high damage and more easily avoid disengagement attacks. I was thinking going with the stag, also because it's my favorite creature in that group. So I'm gonna name him. I'm gonna obviously name the elf Jaeger. So let's name him Grayson. He he's my favorite character in comic books is Dick Grayson, also known as the first Robin, Nightwing, and now a Agent of Spiral, Agent 37. I say it with intense pride in a character that doesn't actually exist. I have technically 11 dexterity due to my elven nature. Oh, no, it does say it. So I'm gonna it's highly recommended. Silver stars are just recommended. So I'm gonna boost that up to 16. Boost that up to 16. And then give my intellect and perception both 2. That looks good. And then the cultures. So much lore in this game, so much in depth. The world is so well developed and it's so wonderful. Hell, if I can tell you about the gods that I remember. Eothas, the dead god, is actually the god of light. Which, I'm kind of rambling for talking about this, but to show how much thought has gone into this game, I'm going to tell you about it. Eothas is the light god who, there was this man, Saint Waidwin, from Adir. He was a farmer, and he said that he was the incarnate form of Eothas, saying he was the living form of the god of light, and he overthrew the Adir government or something. Like his revolt started there, and then when he was done, no, not Adir, Reersis, which isn't one of these options, but he took over there, and then he marched into the Deerwood, and the Deerwoodians were pissed. They now have outlawed any form of praise to the god Eothas, and since then, no priests have heard from Eothas, and he is assumed to have died. And then there's Mogran, I don't remember, but she is the goddess of war and fire. She's kind of one of the most celebrated gods in the Deerwood. And then Belarath or something, the god of, I think, death. But he's also one of the most celebrated gods in the Deerwood, which this game takes place in the Deerwood. And that's the only 3 gods I remember. But my priest, in my other playthrough, is a priest of Eothas, because I didn't realize he was outlawed until I made the character. No, actually I did know. But, I mean, who doesn't love the drama of being a priest to a god that's outlawed and considered dead? But, okay, the cultures. Adir. The Adir Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Though the empire has colonies in numerous areas of the world, Greater Adir is at its heart and houses the majority of its human and elven nations. They get +1 resolve, which is not useful. The Deadfire Archipelago, consisting of the nation of Nazitok, I remember that one, dozens of Almohad settlements, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands that stretch along the Southern Sea. Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Almohad, and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire Archipelago is the last stop for anyone heading east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. So, think Sea of Monsters from Greek mythology. That's what's beyond the Deadfire Archipelago. And he gets a nice longbow. He just has a little hunting bow there. Exometal Plains. Located in the northeast of Erglonvath, the Exomotal Plains are a large expanse of fertile savannas that are extensively farmed by human and Orlan residents. The Exomotal culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. Resolve, dexterity, intellect. They get an epic looking crossbow, but I'm probably not going to go with that one. Old Valia, once the crown jewel of the southern seas. Old Valia is now the crumbled remnants of the empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks, the old Valian countries are still forces to be reckoned with, and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. Rautai, awesome place. Dominated by the Almaua nation of Rautai, the Gulf itself is a host to a number of nations, most of them Almaua, Orlan, and Dwarven. Though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms, so like the Indian area. India. Living Lands. The Living Lands is the mountainous region of the large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable, and its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races and a variety of colonial and independent settlements. Intellect, Constitution, Knight, and the White That Wends. Probably the culture I'll start from because it has to do with the Pale Elves. A large, cracked southern expanse of polar ice, the White That Wends is home to Pale Elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the White, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. And I get this epic-looking barbarian armor. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna choose to be. I wonder what happens if I go wizard from the White That Wends. Oh, nothing. I just get a stick as my wand. Paladin from the White That Wends. Fighter from the White is awesome. Ciphers are, I should have showed you all of these. They're soul warriors, mind hunters. They use another person's soul to manipulate them. Barbarians, of course. Chanters are like bards. Druids. I almost wanted to be a druid for this playthrough. Monk. Hand-to-hand combat. Priests. And rogues. I know I called them OP and it would be boring, but for sake of just sense, because of the character sets, because they're the white wizards, the Pale Elves. I'm not sure where I came up with white wizards, but the Pale Elves are really meant to be wizards, and it just, my priest wasn't fully matched up with what he's supposed to be, so I'm not gonna make that mistake again. And I think I want to be Exomathal? No, Deadfire. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you don't get too upset about me choosing what's considered an OP race. I'm of course going to be a hunter for my background, but each area has its different sets of backgrounds. And I'm going to choose the hunter, which I think every single one has. Yeah. Those are drastically different cultures, which is why I chose to check there. I need to have a darker green. That's not dark. Here's dark-ish. It's still... I'll make that brown. And make my secondary, which I believe is my pants. I'll make that a dark green. Make myself a little bit tanner with dark hair. Ooh. That's an intense face. I'm gonna go with that for the brown nose. I think. I'll go with this one. And this hair needs to be. I definitely need the mohawk. I don't even think that was a thing back in the medieval era. Come on. I guess that would look good. This looks very feminine, so I am gonna go with that one. All of the elves look kind of feminine. Which I guess that's the stereotype of the race, isn't it? I guess I'll go with this to match my shortest hair. Or I'll go. I like ponytail characters for some reason. I don't want a mullet. I think that's a mullet. I'm not sure if I'm correct on that. Hair is the hardest decision. I almost want that. That looks just so... I'm sorry about this, guys. This is probably not entertaining, but... I guess I'll go with this. This. Really crappy looking hair, but at least it makes him look like a guy. That's not even a haircut. It's not even a style of hair that's a bit... Oh, is this it? Fine. Why? Oh, because it's the archer. Alright.
Yes. Follow me.
Time to see and not be seen. Easy now.
I shall lead us.
Yeah!
I shall lead us.
I shall
Yes.
lead us. I shall lead us.
Follow me.
Follow me.
Easy now.
Easy now.
What is it?
What is it?
I shall lead us. What is it?
I shall lead us.
Let's go!
The feisty.
Quickly and quietly.
Leading the way.
I'll guess Noble? And I will name him. Yeah, it does let me. Yeah, gotta. Yeah, gotta. And after long time, we will start the game. But on the next episode, see you next time. Bye! Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to click the new symbol in the picture right now, and that will allow you to subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot. Thanks for watching. See you next time.